For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringWater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile joining me, Andy Serling. New York Big Apple Showcase Day today. Obviously, the weather over the last 2+ days here. We are off the turf, unfortunately. Really nothing we could do. But the good news is that it's clearing up a little bit, and it's supposed to get a little warmer. And maybe the bad weather's behind us.
Sunny skies and temperatures in the high 60s by the time we get midway through the card today.
All right, we'll get to work. We don't have a lot of time. Race number 1. Let's take a look at the entire race. Oh, okay, you're right. I'm sorry. Head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member, use Belmont 25, $25 bet, and the $200 sign up. Head over to NairaBets.com. We've got a bonus there today, a 50-50-50 with Belmont, Santa Anita, and Lone Star, I believe. There we go. Belmont, Santa Anita, and Lone Star. You bet 50 or more on each through the app and the app only, and you'll get a $15 bonus. And finally, America's Day at the races will pretty much be on for the next 140-something hours, 12:30 to 8:30 today, covering races from here, Churchill Downs, Canterbury Park, and Santa Anita as well. All right, race number 1. A bunch of horses coming out of the 5th race on May 2nd. We'll take a look at all 3 of them. I think that the one who ran the best was Big Bobby in here, the number 11, who did not break in here and moved up, and you'll watch them move up. But also the number 6, Devil Boy, didn't break as well, and Devil Boy had the worst break of anybody in this race. And I thought maybe, as with the other one winning for Jeremiah Younghart, maybe this one would improve. We'll watch it. I mean, I can't argue. Big Bobby ran very, very well in here to hold second here. Blitz to Win also ran well, but of the 3, he's the one I prefer the least.
I would agree with everything you said. Yeah, Big Bobby ran a big race. Yeah, it makes sense coming out of taking horses out of that race.
Well, we'll talk about this race.
Yeah.
You know, Big Bobby rushes up to the lead, and what's interesting is this is not a particularly fast first quarter. The winner, River Dog, who is the favorite later in the Mike Lee, he sat actually 5th and moved up. But Big Bobby really ran very well in here. I mean, you could argue the Devil Boy was picking up some pieces at the end, but I thought Devil Boy, because he was badly left and sort of dropped completely out of the race, he took a lot of money in that race to be 4-1. And I have to believe that where there's smoke, there's fire with him. So I'm going to believe that, you know...
He was shorter than the winner.
He was shorter than the winner, exactly. They were both bet. Now, that's not to say they thought he was necessarily better than the winner, but if they thought he was anywhere close to the winner, I'm going to give him one more chance. I'm not trying to beat the 6 and 8 here. You've gone in a different direction.
Yeah, these horses have to be respected, obviously, coming out of that race. But I went to the One Arms and Armor, a horse that ran against Following Sea and Happy Mac, a couple of nice-looking 3-year-olds down at Oaklawn this winter. We're going to see Following Sea on Thursday.
Yes.
He's taking on reinvestment risk in the 3rd race on Thursday, which should be a fun way to kick off Belmont Stakes Racing Festival. I'll see what this horse does. Coming in for Asmussen, 2nd time, see if he can use some speed to his advantage. I would imagine he's going to be more forward than he was last time. He gets Luis Saez. I'm going to try a little bit of a fresh face. But I'm using those 3 horses.
He obviously ran the Tigers first time out, and did show speed in there and could be a little bit dangerous, but he may have found himself in one of the toughest New York bred maiden races that you'll see run in New York in any year. Race number 2, we are off the turf in race number 2. You've gone to the number 15 on top, and that is Beautiful Karen.
Yes, I went to Beautiful Karen in here. 2nd off the break, getting back to Jose Lascano, who's done some good with our Geneva, got the money. I like the fact that she was able to to kind of make up some ground late last time. This is a filly that had been on the lead for most of her career. She's not going to be able to get to the lead in here. And I think last time, the experience from last time, she hasn't won on a wet track, even though she's run some faster races on dry ground, but at least she can handle it. I thought she made some sense on the outside here.
Yeah, what's interesting about her last race to me was that it was a very slow pace and a pace that completely held together. And so she actually did manage to sort of maintain her position. She didn't really gain ground, but she sort of moved up past other horses, and I thought she did run well considering the pace in that race, and she's fine. I think that the 13 in this race, if I had a chance, while too slow on paper, has to be respected. And we'll show Rob Falcone's stat off the claim. Over the last 5 years, he's 12 for 51 off the claim on dirt. And the thing that really caught my eye on this horse is it was claimed by Sandy Goldfarb. And if you look at Rob Falcone, he started the meet off like 4 for 5, and all 4 of them were for Sandy Goldfarb. Now, they were relatively short prices, but the fact is that he's had exceptional success when he's been claiming horses for Sandy Goldfarb. And even though this one on paper didn't look that good, I thought that made him dangerous. But I did go in a slightly different direction, or her dangerous, even though I'm going to use all of my top 3 in here. My Alluring Lady, we'll go back and take a look at her beating actually Blame It on Mary when she broke her maiden on the dirt. And it's a Danny Gargan horse off a layoff that, took a little bit of money in its first couple of races. And this is the kind of horse that Danny Gargan seems to do well with these, and I'm going to take My Alluring Lady for Danny Gargan on top.
This win, Andy, is just so much better than her other 2 races.
Which means she has a good race in her somewhere, and obviously something went wrong last time out. She also chased against a gold rail on the outside, and now we haven't seen her in going on 3 months. First time out, they liked her, but she didn't run well. But I'm going to believe in the good race. You can disagree.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know what to do with it, to be honest with you.
Time Limit obviously is a horse worth discussing, a horse that hasn't been out in a year and a half. This is a better turf horse, though. I know she's got the one good dirt race, but the majority of her dirt races are very mediocre.
Yeah.
And the year-and-a-half layoff is scary to me. And with IRAD, she's going to take a lot of money, and I don't want a short price off a year-and-a-half layoff.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they left her in on a wet track.
Why?
Well, more often than not, you don't want to bring the horses back off year-plus layoffs.
We're muddy and harrowed, by the way,
yeah.
With the sun coming out, it's gonna dry out. I'm not saying it's going to be fast by the end of the day, but it's a very different racetrack than we saw here the last couple of days, which was just a sea of slop and was very beneficial to horse with speed. I would highly doubt we have the same racetrack. Race number 3, don't know where you went.
Went to pay grade.
You have Secret Love 4th in here in a 6-horse field. Well, we'll take a look at Secret Love's last race where she ran against older horses. I thought she was a virtual cinch in this race, unless Love on a Prayer remembers who she was before her last race. She's a little tough to trust after her last race, but in my opinion, Secret Love is just she's as close to a cinch in here as you can possibly get.
Really?
Against, you and I looked at it completely. You had different PPs than I did, because I don't know how you look at this race and don't see this. She was running against legitimate older horses, and I thought she ran very, very well in this race. Her effort 3-back, you can't use the wet track because she's handled the wet track. In fact, she may be a little bit better on it. I have no idea how anybody looks at this race and doesn't see her as the top horse near. I have no problem thinking her second, but how you have her less than second, I'll never figure it out.
I didn't really like either of the favorites in here. I didn't like Love on a Prayer either.
Well, what would you possibly like about pay grade?
I don't know. I figured pay grade would be up close to a moderate enough pace. Clement Barnes doing very, very well right now. I mean, this horse, she needs to improve and step up a little bit.
You think?
I mean, I think there's room for improvement here. And like I said, I don't trust Love on a Prayer for a last race.
On the 4 and 5.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, you had a different set of PPs than I did, because I think your first 2 picks are ridiculous.
I think you printed these for me.
Well, they must have come up different, because I have no idea what race you were looking at. I mean, I'm not saying pay grade's impossible to get a piece in here. Her maiden win was against an extraordinarily weak field. She was 3 to 5. It's Christoph. I guess she has a chance. Rainbow Gal likes a wet track. She's going for a barn whose horses are running out of their skin, so I suppose she'll run better. But
if there was a little bit more speed in here, I probably would have picked Rainbow Gal, but this pace does not figure to...
well, where's she going to be?
Where's who going to be?
Rainbow Gal.
You think she's going to be on the lead? I would imagine Secret Love's going to be on the lead in here.
Rainbow Gal will be sitting close to her.
Okay.
Okay, we saw this race completely differently. I think Secret Love. Now, Loud Man and a Prayer, though, is worth talking about, because she was 1 to 2 last time in a complete and total no-show. Now, she shows back up in here. She's got exceptional races on her race card, and I think, you've left her out of the top.
I don't like her at all today. So here's my problem. Even the race in the Busher, where she's obviously running against exponentially better, I don't think she did a particularly good deal of running. So now it's 2 in a... For me...
How do you think pay grade would have done in the Busher?
No. Andy, I understand that. What I'm saying is, though, I think that figure is a little dressed up by
what about
who
the
she was
79
running
buyer?
against.
She ran.
That's fine, but if I don't like the Busher, that's now 3 in a row where she hasn't come close.
The Busher got beat in the neck in the Kentucky Oaks.
I understand that, but
I don't think she did. I don't think she did a lot of.
I don't think she did a lot of running that day.
Okay, we just disagree. I think you're out of your mind. Race number 4, the commentator. A little love for commentator. He may have been the fastest New York bred dirt horse of all time.
Fastest,
on his best day, he was the fastest.
I would agree with that.
His Whitney over St. Liam is a race I've watched 100 times, and I could watch 1,000 more.
Yeah, he was fast.
I like how people say, St. Liam gave him the lead. The guy, he went 23:46, 109. I mean,
St. Liam gave him the lead.
Yeah,
people are so crazy.
Liam had the whole stretch to get by him. I mean, crazy, right?
2 Whitneys, right? 4 years apart, is that right?
Yeah, I ended up going to Mr. Buff, too, and we'll show him losing to Bankit. He did blow the brake in this race. I just did this because 3 horses were coming out of the race, and so I put it. I think he ran fine, the Westchester. I know Winner's Laugh is probably going to go, and, we'll see what Seafoam does on the outside. I just believe, cutting back to the mile here, that we're going to see the good Mr. Buff, Anthony. I have no confidence, though.
It's
I can't
weird.
Be confident
For
about
a horse as accomplished as him, it's really hard to have a ton of confidence in him today.
Can turn that music off in my ear, guys, please.
Yeah, the fact that he's been able to sit off horses as he's gotten older and win. Because you'd think he's going to have to do that today, right? Winner's Laugh, I would assume, is going to go. And again, this is about intent. Yeah, Mr. Buff might be even faster than him, but this horse, he's in here to go to the lead, I would imagine. So Mr. Buff's going to have to set up camp outside of him, I would think.
I would agree. I would agree.
Right.
And Bankit, I'll say one thing that worries me about Bankit last time. I know American Dubai ran really well. He stunk last time.
He did not. He picked up. He got very lucky to
barely
get
got second, and I needed him for second the exact. And I was desperate to see the horse get second.
Barely got second.
And there was nobody else in there. So he's supposed to get pace, and he's the obvious closer in a race packed with speed. The question in this race is, what do you do with Captain Bombastic?
Captain Bombastic's very interesting. He's a very interesting
terrible
horse
last time, but it was a no-pace race.
Right.
But it's not like, it's one thing it was a no-pace race, and he got, he finished third, beating 3. He was terrible.
The 3/8 pole, his day was over. Yeah, he didn't run. He didn't run well. I don't know. I mean, look.
The miler anyway. I guess he's run well enough around 2 turns.
He's run well enough.
You know
what? It's funny.
Some of the better figures are going longer.
I'm curious to see how he does around the 1-turn mile. Maybe this is something he'll want to do. He just ran so badly. He was so bad last time.
And Winner's Laugh was one of the craziest. I'm going to tell you,
greatest 6-to-1 shot of all time. Me and David were talking on Twitter. We were stunned.
If he had lost, you would have said, well, this was the greatest they knew of all time. Because, you and I talked about him on the show. I think David made him 2-to-1 or 8-to-5. And you said in the show, and I didn't disagree with you, he could be as low as 6-to-5.
Yeah.
He looked like a complete kick in the pants. And by the way, we're not the only ones, and David included. I talked to Steve Christ about it. I remember he said, how did that horse pay that price? It was one of the craziest. They made a favorite in there, Brilliant Brooks, who's terrible.
I was sitting home. That was Mother's Day. I was sitting home with Mom. I was like, I'm throwing in an extra Mother's Day present for you. And I bet $20 on the horse. I said, how's this horse 6-to-1?
He's pretty good, this horse, but getting a mile in here seems tough. I think the oddball is Captain Bombastic. We'll see if he can run at all. Race number 5. So you like Jamaica Joy?
I do.
Okay.
Coming in here off a trainer change to Mr. Mike Maker. Louis Saya is going to climb aboard. I'd imagine off the layoff. I don't see a ton of early speed in here. I'm hoping he puts Jamaica Joy on the lead today. Puts her on the lead today. Andy, I didn't find a lot of other horses that were any interesting.
Okay, you and I had different PPs once again, but I also watched replays. So we'll take a look at La Victoria's last race. We'll watch the whole race. If she breaks today, she's a mortal cinch in this race, unless a first-time star in the rail is a killer in here. She got left, and you see she gets steadied back to last in here. Now, this was the daughter of La Verdad. They paid a lot of money for her and went off at 4-to-5 in this race. After getting left, she rushes up, and she goes after the pace 3 wide. This was a race on a day we had a supreme gold rail, so she was 3 wide the whole way, chasing a pace that absolutely collapsed after getting left. If she breaks cleanly today, if there isn't a substantial killer, if one of the firsters, in particular the one, Shalimar Gardens, who's a half to Princess Violet, another Grade 1 winner for Barry Schwartz, unless that horse is a killer, maybe she is, I have no idea. This horse is as close to a cinch as you could possibly find, assuming she breaks today.
I just thought this horse was going to be way over bet today.
What over bet? This horse should be 4 to 5 in here, and
Well,
she's 5
she
to 2 on the
will
morning
be.
line. Well, she's 5 to 2 on the morning line, so I don't know if she'll be 4 to 5. Regardless, you've got her third in this race. I couldn't disagree more with you. That's a period. I
Okay.
think anybody that follows biases, follows race dynamics, doesn't think this horse can lose today. We just disagree. We have a completely different philosophy of handicapping.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like she's going to be over bet. She broke.
What price? I think she should be 4 to 5 in here. So.
Well, then you'll probably get value.
Yeah, okay. But see, we're just on such a different page in here. I thought the interesting horse might be pretty clever. It's a mineralogist. This is not a turf pedigree. This horse I have to can you dig it.
Yep.
It's a pretty good dirt horse. A couple other horses didn't run, but I think this horse might be a little interesting going turf to dirt. This is a move that Mark Casse has been very successful with, and I'm going to use this horse. I hear you with Jamaica Joy. The problem with Jamaica Joy is she didn't get bet first time out, and she frankly didn't do much running in a race that isn't that good.
Right, but Summer Brew's come back and won 3 races.
Well, Summer Brew has turned her career around,
Yeah.
and she's also won at wet tracks.
But hold on a second.
And she won at a big speed box, and she stunk the other day in winning. Let's be honest.
You give these horses very. It's small
I've got
women
her
about
third.
turning her career
It's
around.
not the point, Anthony.
It was 8 months ago, 7 months ago.
That's not the point, Anthony. The point is, I've got her third. I'm not think she's impossible, but there's nothing about her first race to like. And there is so much about the two's first race to like, it's almost not even funny. And you and I just look at these races completely differently. I'm a little scared of the one. I mean, Princess Violet won grade 1. She won almost $800,000. It's her first foal, but it's an Uncle Mo. She has a right to be a runner.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. I can absolutely be a runner. Everybody, we get to hear the misnomer about the inside being bad for the first-time starters in the draw. Got to go 6.5 though. That extra half furlong might be. I'd
Why is the inside bad for
break at
firsters?
6.
You know the mathematics say it's not.
Say that again.
The mathematics say it's not.
What's not?
That the rail for firsters.
I said that the misnomer gets to come into play here. That the inside,
right. Okay.
the extra half furlongs would bother me about her. I thought about putting her on top. I didn't hear anything on her. More often than not,
Thank God. That was quite a tip you had the other day.
No, more often than not, this barn. When the first is alive, you'll hear a little buzz. I haven't heard anything about this horse, and what a wonderful pedigree like this.
Only for the buzz.
No, haven't heard a word.
All right, that's the first 5. Late pick 5 kicks off the pick 6. By the way, no carryover. It was hit yesterday. Incredible price, $34,000. The parlay for $1 was like $2,000, even with all and obviously the second winner wasn't even money in the sequence, et cetera, but still tremendous value in that play. We'll take a break. We'll see you later.
Make business meetings exquisite. Make a weekend outing exquisite. Make a late night snack exquisite. Make a night on the town exquisite. For nearly 150 years, the Saratoga Spring Water Company has been producing the finest spring water available anywhere. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
We're good. Oh, we're back. The two boys in gray here. And we thank our friends at Saratoga Water, as always, on Big Apple Showcase Day here
We do.
in New York, race number 6. Well, I bet there's some people that are wondering why they didn't enter an MTO or somebody that went into the other stake day, whichever it's called, because well, look at Robin Sparkles running second in the license fee. She's the speed. She's going to the front, and if you got somebody else, feel free to tell me.
I don't. Sorry. I don't have much to say here with this one off the turf. I mean, she's run twice on the dirt, too. She was right behind Malibu Mischief in the third start of her career. I mean, I don't know what else to say here. I guess, and I know you're not going to worry as much about this as I am, the mile. I guess the mile's the question.
Yeah, no,
that's
fair.
it. But I really don't see any other questions.
But that's a fair. No,
if she can't go to mile, she can't go to mile, and it might not matter who's behind her.
No, that's fair.
But I'll tell you what, she found a good good bunch to test the mile theory against.
Nobody in here that can run a step on the dirt. I mean, I got Kilkay a second because she's improved. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Coming from a figure point of view, yes. At the very least, Dancing with Daffodils has.
There are maidens that would have won this race.
At the very least, Dancing with Daffodils has dirt form.
Not really.
Well, I'm
No,
not
that's
saying
fine.
I didn't say it's good. She has dirt form, and she's had some success with some moisture in the ground. Without moisture in the ground, the races are slow. But I mean,
Yeah, no.
you know what I mean?
I'm not arguing with anybody in this race.
No.
To me, it's Robin Sparkles wins, and after that, you throw them
That
up,
should be
all up in the air.
3176, guys. Sorry.
So your last choice in here is Kilkea.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's how the math works. That's the math. Yes.
I'll bet you she's in the top 3. We're at 71. I won.
No,
yesterday.
I'm not betting anything.
By the way,
on
that
this-
was a good one
this
hitting the board
race.
yesterday. Did you see what board it hit?
Listen, if you tell me the horse was going to go 46, I wouldn't have made the bet.
Anthony, you like the horse because it was a speed. Now you're complaining.
Andy,
that it went
46?
You like the horse because of speed. Now you're
Yeah,
complaining.
I didn't think it was
that
gonna go
horse would have
46.
would have hit
Yeah,
the board
probably
if they
wouldn't
went
have mattered.
146, Anthony. So it didn't matter.
46.
Stop. Race number 7. Well, I guess we'll get an idea a little bit in the first race today because the horse is coming back behind River Dog. But we'll take a look at that race, the stretch, one more time at River Dog. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, this horse, this isn't just one of the most impressive New York bred maidens you've seen run. This is one of the most impressive maidens we've seen run all year. I mean, how many maidens run 96 buyers first time out? And, I mean, it seems legitimate. I mean, this horse just ran. And I think I have a stat for this horse just with Jeremiah. These horses, his horses that win first time out, they come back and they win right back.
Listen,
I'm not trying to beat this guy.
I tried.
Why?
But I would not be surprised if this horse just ran off and did the same thing again. Problem is, again, it was a race where he had an entry. He had another horse from the barn in the race that was a little bit of a shorter price. Hold on. A little bit of a shorter price, who did not break particularly well. This horse got a pretty nice run. Listen, the horse ran a 96 buyer figure in his first start.
You've
He's
got
going to be. I got him second.
Oh, okay.
I put him second. I took a shot against him with Dr. Blute off the tough trip last time out.
Okay. Well,
That was it. I mean, the horse broke his maiden nicely in the slop.
he ran the turf last time.
I ran on the turf last time. He didn't have a good trip last time.
Right, but he ran the turf.
I understand that. I got it. But he already has a good race on the dirt.
His first race will only lose by about 8 lengths.
Now
the
it's
favorite
John
in this race.
Velasquez. Now it's John Velasquez picking up the
Well,
mount.
Pablo Durong, he got a perfect trip in his first race. Johnny couldn't have ridden
No,
it
the
better
first
than
race was
Pablo
fine. The
first
last
time.
race, I think Johnny
I
may have made
understand,
a
the race on the
distance.
turf.
Yeah.
This is on the dirt.
I'm well aware.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
it. I got it.
Okay. Listen, he ran well enough with a perfect trip first time out in the dirt. I hear you. I don't see him winning, but I hear you. I mean, I don't know what to do with excellent timing.
I don't
Because
either.
His dirt race in the Damon Runyon, and by the way, speaking of slow days, they went 128 for 7 furlongs in that race. Another track on March 14th. One of the very, very slow days we had throughout the winter. This was a big inside track, and he was waltzing along on the front end. He only got an 83 buyer. Now, I know he was coming off a layoff of 3 months, but honestly, he could have run a 95 buyer under those circumstances. And
then the wildest thing, when I was told this horse was going to be in on Derby Day, I just assumed the Pat Day Mile.
he was going to be on the Pat Day Mile, but he couldn't possibly have competed with those horses in the Pat Day Mile. So he does have enough turf pedigree, being a Not This Time and a Pioneer Nile. They thought they'd take a shot in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, they now know he's not a turf horse.
Yeah. And now he goes back to his obvious preferred surface. And
No respect for market alert. Okay, I'll bet you a lunch that the 2 beats the 1.
sure.
I mean, I'm taking all the worst of it, but I'm going to do it just for fun. 71, 1 lunch.
You want it to be fair? You want 3-2?
I'll take 3-2.
I'll give you 3-2. I don't want to be told that I'm trying to shiesty you out of
I'm the one who came
3
up
to
with the
2. I'll
bet.
give
That's
you 3 to
not
2.
you weren't trying to do anything to me. I'm the one who came up with the bet.
That's
All
the
right.
first one of the day, right?
It is.
Okay.
It is. I don't know if we'll be able to come up with another one. I hope that City Man, as we go to race number 8, is okay.
Yeah.
Because he came out late. I don't know. I picked him on top.
I picked him second, yeah.
I thought he was a living cinch in this race. But now with the scratches, it's not only is it a 2-horse race, it's a 3-horse race. I mean, I guess Mo Ready will go. We'll take a look first at control group. What are we looking at, guys? Well, okay, we're not. Good night. Okay, let's look at control group and the more to tell. 2 races back winning. He's faster than these control group. I don't trust him, so I put him second to the barn that never loses.
Yeah, I put him on top. You know, I have a lot of love for control group.
Yeah, he's the worst to beat.
Yeah.
I mean, his 2 races for Wayne Potts are good. I mean, you could argue his 2 races for Wayne Potts, he actually got him back to his best races
And that's what
Good trip here, but he ran.
That's the reason I put the fact that he took him off of the prior barn, and he's been as good, if not better than he was.
I just never liked this horse.
I know, and I've always loved him.
And with Vintage Hollywood, we go right to the replay of Vintage Hollywood because there's just nothing really to say in here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to sit third in the outside with Jose Ortiz.
I'm going to tell you,
he's in a tougher spot that was wired last time, and he's actually kind of a rail runner, this horse. But
I'm going to tell you the thing that bugged me the most about this horse.
What bugged you?
The comment last time is bled, and now he has to run off of Lasix today because it's a stakes race.
Okay.
That bothers me.
Okay, that's a very fair point.
You know. Other than that, though, I mean, there's nothing bad to say about this. There's another horse. You know, you know what's cool about him? More often than not, if he gets himself involved in a battle through the lane, he wins them. I love horses like that. He does have
an outside post. He's a bit of a rail runner. We'll see how it works out. The Critical Eye handicap. Dancing Kiki wishes that she was in the turf race.
Were you of those old Schwartz horses? I was a Hey Baba Lulu guy.
Really? I like the
Schwartz
horses.
Hey Baba. She was nice. She was fun too. But I was I loved Hey Baba Lulu.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people tell me the first memory they have me at the racetrack is yelling and screaming at my friend Lonnie that Hey Baba Lulu couldn't lose.
And how did she do?
She won. Mike Smith.
Miracle. I like Critical Eye. I thought Critical Eye was a terrific horse. It's a tricky race. We'll take a look at Espresso Shot and Love running 1-2, and it was an extraordinarily slow pace, and that really helped them in there. And I think with the number 8 horse outside, with Bank Sting in this race, it's not going to be as tepid a pace because she's kind of a go-getter and she's in good form. I mean, Espresso Shot has good races, but she was so helped by the pace. But then Love comes back, and she backs it up with that good effort behind Altaf, right?
Listen, Love ran really well.
She's in great form.
This is something I would love to call audibles. I want to see by the time they run this race just how much moisture's in the track, because she's certainly, Love seems like one who is affected by it. She's probably the horse that if this track still has a lot of moisture in it, I would downgrade her chances.
Okay.
But if this track gets fast, yeah, she's.
Well, it's not going to be fast. I don't think.
Right. It's almost impossible. But there'll be some moisture in it. It looks like
in over 5 hours, 5 hours from now. So we've seen crazier stuff.
She's faced.
I don't think it's windy enough, right?
Right.
You know,
I don't either. She's ran on sloppy, muddy, and good tracks, and she just looks to be affected the most.
And they've sealed it, by the way, in the inside. And I don't know if they're going to unseal it.
Right.
They've sealed it.
I don't. You know, she's the one where if the moisture's coming out of this track considerably, I'd move her chances up. She's still. I still respect her, but those 3 races, they kind of stick out. The wet track races, they're just not very good.
As far as Mrs. Orb, and we'll take a look at Mrs. Orb in this race. I love Mrs. Orb, as you well know. I was glad to hear she didn't sell and she was going to come back to racing. This was such a funny race, this race, but you know, she got it done and she beat Sharp Star. And I know Sharp Star went the wrong way after this. Espresso Shot finished a distant third.
But at the time, she was in good form, Sharp Star. She was coming off the Go for One win.
I didn't put her on top because of the layoff and some other horses, but I thought about it, and you know, you've got her on top, and I got nothing but love for Mrs. Orb.
She's been in the exacta 10 of her last 11 races.
Mike Maselli has done such a fabulous job with her, and the one race that she didn't, she just ran so badly. You know, she just didn't show up in that race, and she was off for 4 months after it. And what did she do? She came back in this race and ran second to Rodzikowski. So
lucky move, Royal Flag, lucky move. I mean, she's to me, she's the class of the race.
Yeah,
you have to deal with the layoff.
No, you're not.
But she's
wrong.
as consistent as they come. She handles distance. She handles fast or soft paces. She handles moisture in the track. I'm a big fan of hers.
It's amazing because she was really just no good at all. I mean, I know she ran a 40,000.
Yeah.
I mean, she just turned it around for Mike Maselli. It was such a great job, and I think she's kind of a poster child for a trainer like Mike Maselli and the New York Reds and hard-hitting horses. And she's the kind of horse you want her to win on a day like today. You know what I mean? She's like
these days are for horses like her.
Most, right?
These days are for horses like her to showcase a great breeding program, and you know what I mean.
She's made us over almost $440,000. I mean,
she runs
$40,000 claimers, and nobody on earth would consider claiming her.
She runs 1-2 today. If she wins, she's a $500,000. If she runs second, she's very close close to it.
It's just great to see her back. I took a shot with good credence. I had a lot of trouble in this race. I think your points by the 7, by the way, in the wet track, I usually argue against them. They're valid. I can't.
She's just a little slower.
No, that's a very valid argument. Now, I'll tell you something else. You know I don't believe in this stuff, and she's a one-turn milers. She has run her best race at Aqueduct. And, you know, I thought about that, and I put her second, but I probably should have gone 9-4-7 in this race. As far as good credence, she's run races that hit it being good enough here. She had no shot against Latruska last time out. She ran that big race. I thought she was kind of an interesting horse showing up in this race. She'd be a bit of a price. She's probably a kind of a cut below, but it's not that far below some of the best horses in here. I thought she'd be a bit of a price. I took a little bit of a shot at her. She always hinted at being okay, and maybe she'll become a good 4-year-old.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't love her. I was just trying, you know, I didn't trust the 7 coming to Belmont. I didn't trust Mrs. Orb off the layoff. I didn't want Espresso Shot because she just, you know, and the others just I didn't think were really good enough.
I had to give my girl Banksting a little love, but certainly could have put good credence forth. I mean, she can win. She's off the 6 months.
Listen, Banksting is too slow, but it's not that far, and she has improved, and she likes a wet track. And, you know, I knocked you for liking her last time, and I was dead wrong, and she's been a nice horse. She's really moved forward.
Yeah, I wonder how this race. I'm curious to see how this unfolds. Because, like you said, with a horse like Banksting in here,
She's
who's going to be forward, she's supposed to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I think that Eric Cancelo go with Espresso Shot. I mean, I think
her better races have lately for Espresso Shot. Her better races are when she's forward.
And Eric Cancelo didn't win 3 races by accident yesterday.
No, he didn't.
I mean, you have to be in the right horses, but he rode them the right way. He was aggressive. He was coming out of the gate strong, and he really. It's the kind of riding I like to see from, and that's one of the reasons I get frustrated when I see Eric being unaggressive, because I know when he's been the most successful at different times in his career,
he's aggressive.
It's been aggressive, and I
You
know
could say that for a lot of riders, by the way.
Agree,
Almost
but
every
I know
one of them.
Eric is a good rider who can compete on this circuit even when we're not in the winter. And sometimes I get frustrated watching him and think like, Eric, you know, come on, get in the game. When he's in the game, he's a good rider.
You went to curse just now. You went to say a potty mouth word just now.
I did?
I thought so.
No, I didn't even come close to it. Race number 10. I'm going to get.
You missed number 9.
I'm going to get Anthony Margata home today.
I was wondering if you were picking this. My man Louis. You picked Louis and I didn't.
Is this a Louis?
That should be an 8. That should be an 8 at the end, guys. I guess the email will go through. 14-7, 16-8.
This is when you find out, Louis, who your real friends are. Okay,
that's unbelievable. You picked this horse and I didn't. Here. That's amazing.
This bum over here took a horse that's going to be overbet based on turf races as opposed to your horse.
Well, hold on a second. You know the real reason I picked quantitative reason.
No.
She's after Mrs. Orb.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
No, they never wanted to run her on the dirt despite that.
And I was talking to Louis about that yesterday. I was like, you know, the race is probably going to come off the turf. And the only thing is, Brad Cox knows she's a half to Mrs. Orb, and Mrs. Orb can't stand up on the turf. Why has this filly never been on the dirt? You know, and she's a central banker, and I mean, it's not crying out turf.
I can go upstairs and get some tea before the
do
show,
you think?
and I know you all want me to do that.
I like 14-7, 7-14.
I like the 7. I like the 16, not a trace a little bit. Throw that horse in that ran once at Gulfstream. I don't really want the 14. I've got the horse 4th, but I'm going to try 7s and 16s. 14 can obviously win. But I'll tell you something about the 14, and I don't think you'll disagree. She stunk last time.
Awful.
She's supposed to win
terrible.
that race. She
Everybody thought she was a lock of the day.
She couldn't lose. She got blown off the racetrack.
You weren't the only person either.
That's my problem with her. She's got a little bit of phony.
She's twofold. The last race stunk, and
wrong surface, short price.
They see her pedigree, and they didn't run her on the dirt yet. Listen, maybe it's a sucker horse. I hope Louis. You know what? I'm using both of them. I hope Louis is making fun of me for not picking her today. You did.
By the way, as if today's card and nicer weather and warming up isn't enough, Naja Thompson's going to be here today. So
please, that guy.
Head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, no better time than the present. Become a member of Naira Bets. You get a free $25 bet. $200 will match $200 your initial deposit. Use the promo code Belmont25. Get with the program. It's New York Red Showcase Day. Keep the money in the game. Sport racing in New York.
Fitty.
Belmont, Santa Anita, and Lone Star. Stakes at Lone Star. $15 bonus at least through the app and the app only. And finally, only on from 12:30 to 8:30, Anthony. So make sure you're paying attention, because if you blink, you might miss it. 12:30 to 8:30, FS2 all day long. Oh, and by the way, it is Memorial Day, and we should remember all of those that gave their lives for this country to make this country the great country that it is. And we do want to remember all of them and all the loved ones that lost people in wars to help the United States be this great country.
I tweeted out earlier, my grandfather was a prisoner of war in Anzio for about 19 months in World War II, and he was one of the lucky ones that got home. Like I said, all gave some gave all, and I think that's something we need to remember today, every day, but certainly today.
No question, every day. It's one of the things that enables this country to be as great as it is, and jerks like us to be able to earn a living in horse racing. Have a wonderful Memorial Day. Enjoy the day. America's Day at the Races, 12:30 to 8:30 today. Enjoy.